Live from the Export Beer Garden studios and brought to you, as always, by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for January the 22nd.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Oh, good morning, James McOnie.
Oh, morning, Michael Lane. What's going on, G Lane?
Happy New Year. What did you get up to? Where have you been? What have you done? You got a tan?
I've been around the greatest province in the world, the mighty Waikato, and just cruising around and around, just doing circuits, just doing donuts around the Waikato.
Did you buy the Te Awamutu Times?
No, the Te Awamutu Courier you're thinking about.
Yeah.
It has been shut down by NZME. Shut it down.
Oh, but I was hoping you would, ride in on your white stallion and go, I've got it.
I tried to. I was in talks with Bogsy. He's the CEO of NZME. He's getting a bit in-house, but love Bogsy. And I was like, hey, Bogsy, we can do this, mate. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. 111 years it's been going. And I think that it's not over. It isn't over. Like, there's a few papers that are sort of like doing little kind of like trying to raise from the dead.
I think the Taupo Times, they're good. Yeah. They've brought it back.
But I get it. Like, I mean, it's tough to keep, like, I've worked on papers for the first half of my career and then got turfed out and ended up, bing, the crowd goes wild. What a move. A great move. As I've watched papers just crumble, and it's tough because, apart from keen Sudoku and crossword people, papers are really battling out there,
Yeah.
It's hard. Do you do Sudoku or crosswords online?
Nah, I don't do any of that.
Paper, right?
I don't do any of that. Sudoku and stuff like that. It's not really. I'm waiting till I'm kind of old and in an old home before I get stuck into that. I don't want to peak too early on the mindless paper games until I'm really dangerously old.
Yeah. I would love my favourite TV show for a while was, is it called, was it Sea Change or Cool Change? Such a favourite TV show. I can't remember the name. I think it was Sea Change with Sigrid Thornton, and this guy went back. He was really dashing, way more dashing than I'll ever be. Went back to his hometown to run the little local paper. Right, okay. And I thought, that looks cool.
You need to rewatch that. And you need to get in that Citron and get down to Te Awamutu.
And say, I'm here. And they go, nah, it's shut down. Sorry. it's not happening. It's gone. And they'll be like, and we're okay with it. But I'll be like, no, but this paper's so important. When you scored 20 runs when you were a kid, you made the Courier. You got in the paper.
Totally. What was the limit? It was
20.
It was 20, was it? And
it was quite tough, 20 runs is a lot.
In the Waikato Times, it was 30. You had to get 30 more runs or more than 3 wickets.
Yeah.
So your three for got in there.
I think your three for might be right.
Your 3 for got in there, and you had to get more than 30 runs. But there was also the Hamilton Express or something. There was another little paper.
Yeah.
That if you got in that, it was but you needed to get in the Times.
I made the paper in England for my club cricket team. That was a great day. A 4-for.
Did you?
4-for. Yeah. And I got it under quite tricky circumstances because all the South African imports were bitching and moaning about this overweight Kiwi bowling, and I was like, but the captain was an Aussie and they don't care. Like, nah, mate, he's already taken 2 wickets, so you can shut up.
Mate, he's on a heater, mate.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He's bowling full 8 overs from this fat idiot. It's like
Does me the ball skip.
But I remember that one, the whingeing South African, he was a spin. He's a shocking off-spin bowler. He got smashed, and it came straight to me. And ordinarily, no one would be expected to catch it. But I thought, he's been bitching and moaning. I'll catch this absolute rocket. Yeah. And he was happy. It settled him down.
There you go.
Because he got his wicket.
That's all Saffers need. Just a little bit of something.
A little bit of something. A little bit of hope. I took a catch that should not have been taken. Not because it was a screamer. It was just the ball was travelling so fast. Most people would just go, fuck that.
That's me now.
I know. Because I'm thinking about the arthritis in my hands going, is this worth it,
But it wasn't a lot of sport happened over the Christmas period, was it? It was a desert. The only little bit of sparkle was the odd Sri Lankan T20 in one-day game throughout January, which seemed odd as well because we didn't talk about that yesterday either, and the fact that we'd won both the first 2 easily and then just gave up on the third. Both of them.
Is this hyperbole? Is this an exaggeration to say the ACC saved summer?
I think so.
I
think we did.
I think you did.
I think we did because I'm not sure what else was going on, to be honest.
I know.
There was nothing going on at all. Meanwhile, I was holidaying in Japan. I didn't do any of them. I just left my nice Stuart do it all. And now he's left.
Because you know what happened with, bye Mania. Be free 15 metres away. Maybe 20 metres?
Fly my pretty.
Fly my pretty, go to Hodaki. Because Auckland FC and the Wellington Phoenix shat the bed over summer, so they weren't saving summer.
No.
They've come right now. We're talking about the Christmas break summer.
Yes.
But then the ACC was there, delivering.
Toiling away.
Sri Lanka series, Black Clash.
Yeah, the Black Clash. Yeah, so we discussed it yesterday on the Black Clash. I've got a bit of a retraction. I told a yarn yesterday about Chris Martin, great New Zealander Chris Martin, and about how he hit me up about the catch I took at the Basin many, many years ago, and they did a split screen of me doing a crowd catch and him dropping one at mid-off or mid-on off Brooke Walker, and his one was an absolute dolly, and he's talked about how angry he was about that because it was so humiliating that the TV coverage did that, and I think Martin Crowe was directing at the time.
What was this a?
It was a test match against
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
Match,
yes,
right.
And I took a crowd catch, won $1,000
In your Beige Brigade year?
Yeah,
right.
And then they did a split screen the next day with Chris Martin's drop catch and my catch, and it had Ian Smith going on the left as a club player, on the right an international as he.
That's brutal.
It almost hit him on the head. But at the time, and I told Chris Martin, I told this yesterday, that saying that, did you know who the bowler was? And he goes, no. I said it was Brooke Walker, and he hadn't taken a test wicket, and that was his first test wicket, and you dropped it. and he went on to play 5 tests, and I think he got 5 test wickets, Brooke Walker. But at the time, he hadn't taken any. And Chris Martin,
I can't even remember Brooke Walker.
And Chris Martin goes, "Oh, that makes me feel even worse." And he's like, "This is before the Black Clash," and he's like, "Thanks for that. The only thing that's going to redeem you," he said, "is if you can find me a sweatband to wear, because I know the crowd want to see it." And I was desperately looking for one, but I couldn't find one for him. But anyway, a retraction, because I said that he didn't take any test wickets, and that was his only chance for a test wicket. He did in fact get 5, but at the time he had none, and Chris Martin dropped it.
And so what's the retraction? Where's the
retraction? I did say that Brooke Walker never took a test wicket.
Oh, right.
But
okay.
He did.
I was trying to work out.
He did take 5, but at the time on that test match, he hadn't taken any. That was potentially his first test wicket. Quite an exciting time for a youngster, and to have it dolly up to mid-off or mid-on, wherever it was, and get it dropped was. Anyway, that's so I got eviscerated on social media for that, but that's not for the first time.
Because you got to be absolute nuffy to mention any statistic.
Yeah, you got to be right on the money.
Yeah,
but Black Clash. Thoughts?
Thoughts on the Black Clash? Love the Black Clash. I feel like it comes exactly the right time. There's always a little lull, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's just before Super. It's just after some cricket series, and there it is, shining like a diamond. And Chris Gale, what a signing, because he is just entertainment factor. I mean, he's bowling those kind of little, not real autumn leaves. He's just casual AF.
Everything
and
about
very
him,
cool.
Everything about him is in like, it's not at 45, it's at 33. Like everything's slow. Even his cover drives were just slow. His sixes are slow. The way he walks, when he runs, he ran out Will Jordan by just lulling him into this. Oh, are we not running? Are we just walking situation?
Yeah.
He was great. And he's so. Everything he just delivers is cool. Like, he just goes, no.
Is he single? The universe boss?
By the looks of it. The looks of it.
Because, I mean, one of the big things about stories that used to sort of go around back in the day is that, when the cricketers came here, international cricketers, they'd sort of sow their wild oats, and there'd always be, someone would say, Imran Khan's got a son in Hamilton or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be just, and Viv Richards has got a,
he's got 10.
Exactly. So, and I was like, wow, Viv Richards and Imran Khan, if they came through, what a team would have their kids. Even Beefy Botham got that as well.
It's great planning. It's great succession planning from New Zealand cricket back then, because they needed to widen the gene pool, didn't they? So they said, sow your oats.
Well, that's the thing, is like, could we actually make it a bit more organised? And maybe that could be an extension of the Black Clash.
So you're saying we bring a good player out and we milk them for their seed.
Yes.
And at the same time,
could be part of the deal.
So part of the deal is you come out. We'll give you $10,000. play a game. We take
you to the bank.
Take you to the bank, and we get your seed.
Yeah.
And then you will be responsible for securing the future of New Zealand cricket. That's a
exactly
great idea.
It is it. There we go.
They're here.
Yeah.
But
because apparently it used to happen. That's the whole thing. Like, I mean, there was, and I mean, there must be someone coming through. Like, he looks like. He looks a lot like someone. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if there's any babies born in 9 months' time with big long dreads at the back and
it's like
an elegant left-hander, we'll know why.
That's right. That's the thing. And you go, on Meet the Fockers when Ben Stiller meets his old housekeeper's son.
Yes.
Who looks a lot like Ben Stiller with a monobrow. And but it turns out they're not related. But that's the scenario where it's like they're a dead ringer. We've got to work this one out. But if there is a plan with the bank and willing recipients, then all of a sudden you just go, well, we know.
Yeah. Just be open about it.
Yeah.
It's been too secretive for too long.
That's what rich families do, for fuck's sake, that.
The royal family.
Yeah, exactly. They just basically keep it in house, and they know exactly whose sperm is going where.
They
do.
Chris Gale did. Look, I mean, I know he's probably not in control of his own social media. Maybe he is. But there is a small faux pas he has committed. He did pick up Lauren Simpkins under his arm like a rugby ball.
Lauren. Oh, my goodness. Can I describe Lauren? I think she's over 5 foot, but just.
Yep.
And then she must be, 50 kilos maximum.
Oh, dripping wet.
Dripping wet.
Yeah.
And then...
with clothes.
And then you've got... Mash, I'm just waiting for Mash to run in and go, something's been said about my lovely girlfriend. But so Loza, yes, who Chris Gale picked her up.
Like a rugby ball under his arm, and he just said to her, I got you, baby. And she's like, Anyway, he has gone and he's found Lauren's Instagram and he's liking quite a few photos on there, and she's a bit, oh, look, he's following me. Then he also did the same to Kate Britton out here in Radio Hauraki. However, the biggest faux pas of Instagram is he's gone back 6 years and he's liked a photo from 6 years ago. On Kate's account.
Oh, wow.
Of her twins, when her twins were born. Because his line to her was, he said, I've got twins. And she goes, I'll give you triplets.
He said that. I'll give you triplets. Shit, that's good.
Anyway,
well, I mean, I say shit, that's good. Shit, that's inappropriate. Sorry. That's what we should be saying.
The thing is, they all didn't care. They loved it. It was Chris Gale. The way he was like, I got you, baby. I'll give you triplets.
So just one thing about that. Oh, God, I love Chris Gale. He's
living in a different time.
He's got a nightclub at the bottom with sort of poles and stuff to dance around in the bottom of his house in Kingston, Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
That's the
It's the CG Palace. He doesn't actually live in the CG Palace. He lives with his mum apparently, because the CG Palace is like 4 or 5 stories. And it's too lonely, so he usually stays with his mum. He just parties there.
Nice.
In the CG Palace. And it's sponsored by Appleton's Rum. Like every floor has an Appleton's Rum bar in it and shit. It's great stuff.
He's a mummy's boy.
It's great stuff. Anyway, he's been going into all of our wider ACC teams' Instagrams. Only the female members, by the way, because I got my titties out and showed him, and he was not impressed.
He wasn't happy?
No, he wasn't happy. So he hasn't gone deep into my Instagram and liked any of my photos.
So two things I need to ask about the Black Cat Clash. The night before, how big is the night before?
Well,
and when does it finish?
It was fairly big. I'd say Jason Eaton, he had a big night.
Yeah.
Hamish Marshall always has a big night. I knocked it on the head about 1.
Okay.
But I left them there. And of course the game doesn't start until 6:30 the next day. So I'd say but it's a long day, because I think they all get there. Everyone's at the pub at like 4 in the Arvo.
And the teams have lunch, don't they?
Yeah, some of them play golf.
Yeah.
And then it leads into a launch event or a sponsors event.
And then you merge the streams, The ACC and the teams come together.
That's when the perfect storm happens, and you've got the likes of Minai Stewart grinding on the dance floor with Matt Heath, Chris Gale, Jason Eaton, Hamish Marshall, Jason Spice, Anton Devsich, some real hand grenades thrown in there from team cricket. Kieran Reid was there, but he's always very shrewd. Kieran,
he's measured.
Yeah, just kind of sidles off, and he's off, ready to prepare for the next day. Andy Ellis was fairly likely. He was around as well. Colin Slade.
Andy Ellis, life of the party.
Yeah.
Almost like he's a party captain vibes, you know?
He's got a
let's
great
do this, let's try this,
great moustache too. He looks very dignified
Yeah.
at the moment with his big slug on his top lip.
I remember sitting at a table with Andy Ellis and he goes, okay, you got to tell a joke, sing a song, or tell a story. And he just went around the table. And I told some terrible joke. and then just randomly about sort of 5 minutes later, I was telling the story and my friend nudged me and went, you should have told that story because your joke was shit. I mean, I don't know. I was on the spot with the joke.
That's a great line. What is it? Story, joke, or song?
Yeah, story, joke, or song. It's a break the ice thing for any party. And it's not fair because there were a few rugby players there who had some unbelievable stories.
Oh, yeah. It's like the court session afterwards. Some of the stories that come out there are magnificent.
You need to sort of, I think there's such a filter on some of them that they'll never tell the stories, but then with every beer, with every export, there's a story, another story coming out. And what level you'll get, for example, Kieran Reid or Ben Smith, who I'd say a high threshold of not telling stories, you can get them eventually.
You can wear them down.
You can wear them down, or maybe under hypnosis of some kind.
The very first Black Clash, which was 7 years ago, that court session was one of the moments I'll always remember because Kieran Reid was captain, but he had Richie McCaw in his team. And the other team, Stephen Fleming was captain, and he had Dan Vittori and Israel Dagg was playing. And it was like the who's. There was about 4 or 5 captains in there of the respective teams. And there was a challenge laid down by Jason Spice, who was running the court session. And the question was, Stephen Fleming, stand up, full weed South African story, go. And he told the full weed South African story to the whole changing room. And then in retaliation, Fleming looked over Israel Dagg and went, full energy drink, sleeping pill story, World Cup, go.
Oh,
and
wow.
And next to Izzy Dagg was Sir Graham Henry.
Oh,
and
my
Izzy
God.
Dagg, bless him, told the whole thing, unfiltered.
Yeah.
And
And Ted goes,
Henry's
is that what happened?
He goes, Jesus Christ, boy. Is that actually what happened? Oh, my God. It's like,
Is that what happened? Really? And then the thing is, like the players love Ted. Like he is just such. There's a lot of respect there for Ted, but also they know that he doesn't mind a yarn. You know?
yeah.
He's a varsity man, Ted. You imagine some of his club players what they got up to back in the day.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Living
yeah.
arenas. But just before we wrap up and move on to some actual sport, the only little bit of not controversy, but a little bit of chatter was Leon McDonald was playing for Team Rugby. No Razor this year as the coach.
Oh, they can't be in the same room together, the same oval.
Good player though, Leon McDonald.
Really good player.
Really good player.
Determined to be good as well, I think.
Yeah.
I think he turns up at the Black Clash thinking, you guys can have your beers. I'm on the
He bowled
I'm
well.
on the lights.
Batted well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was noted. No, Razor Ray, say Razor Ray. But a very commendable replacement in Lee Hart. Did you see his speech?
Yeah, I actually was quite impressed by the speech because I thought this could go anywhere. You watch him start off and you're going, okay, bail out now, buddy.
Get out.
But he actually found a second wind, and I mean, it's a good full 2.5 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you've watched Lee Hart play cricket, it's quite ironic that he's giving a speech around before a game of cricket. But
we could probably insert the speech here.
you probably could. Let's listen to Lee Hart's pre-game speech to Team Rugby. He's got Kieran Reid on one side of him, and he's got Leon McDonald on the other.
And Chris Gale going, actually sort of as his hype man.
Yes. There you go. Let's listen.
I had a dream last night, fellas. Ironically, none of you are in it. But when I woke up, I thought, what if I dreamt that today we made history? And I believe we will. You know why? Because I look around this room and I see 12 men, all right? 12 men that can make history. I'll tell you why. My great uncle Kenny, he had a dream one time, and his dream was to make big nuts. Although this must look like some sort of crass sponsorship sort of plug, I can assure you it's not. It's far more than that. You know, when Kieran rang me up, well, he didn't ring me, she asked me about 12:05 last night to be the coach. I had to think about it for a while. And tequila later, I said, yeah, why not? I'll do it. What else am I going to do? And I'll tell you what, I did it because it was this team. I wouldn't have done that team. It's this team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, follow you.
The synergy with this.
Yes.
Uncle Ken. This team is big nuts.
Yes.
I look around here. Leon, you've got big nuts. Chris, you've got big nuts. No, you've got big nuts. Andy, where's Andy? You've got big nuts. I've seen them. Even the people here that don't have big nuts like myself. I'm not talking about those nuts. I'm talking about the nuts in here. These are the nuts. Kick your ass. We're going to show New Zealand our nuts. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to do. We're going to kick those cricket pussies' asses. Losing is not an option. So get out there and show me your nuts. Let's hear it. Big nuts! 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 Big nuts!
Rightio, there is actually a little bit of sport going on, James McOnie. The Aussie Open. Looking at the Aussie Open, do you think the players think the Aussie Open crowds are the worst in the world?
It's tricky now because I feel like the Aussies have been respectful in the past, and now they're sort of letting it all hang out.
Yeah, now
is this a post-COVID thing? Like, I don't give a fuck now, mate.
Is this the true Aussies? Though?
Yeah.
Do you think they were acting?
But the biggest sort of issue, I was going to say the biggest douche, was that bloody broadcaster who tried to be funny. And it's always tricky though when a mainstream broadcaster decides they're going to go and be comedic.
Yeah,
and it was just an insult. He was basically.
It wasn't even. We
can play.
Funny.
We can play that.
Okay,
too.
Let's have a listen to this most unfunny kind of banter you'll ever hear.
Novak, he's overrated. Novak's a has-been. Novak, kick him out.
It didn't even have a. Well, there's no rhythm. There was nothing.
I think it's just try hard, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
that's all the way. But anyway, Novak said, "Right, I'm not going to do interviews with Channel 9. You can go fuck yourself. I'm not going to do my practices on public courts because there's too much drama around this. So so he went indoors and stuff. And so everyone's saying it's all because of this guy, Chompers, they call him.
It's worked though. He beat Carlos Alcaraz. He's through to the semis.
I've only just found that out because I watched it as late as I could last night. I got till about 1:30, 2 a.m. and then went to bed. So I'm guessing that because he was hobbling. This is the weird thing. He had full strapping on one thigh.
Oh, dear.
Novak.
But do you think he was possuming?
I think he might have been playing possum, and they're a bit protected in Australia, not like here.
No, you can't thump them over their head with a cricket bat over there.
So wow, just 4 sets as well. Alcaraz, geez, he looks impressive, but there's a couple of shots there that he needs to sort of tame Alcaraz. And at one point, Novak, when he was struggling with his thigh, was going, he might not be able to get that perfect because it affects everything, like the trajectory of your forehand, all that sort of stuff. And I was going, oh man! But then he has been a bit like that before, where he sort of limps around a bit, feeling sorry for himself. Then all of a sudden goes, aha! I'm a superhero.
Have you seen his Carlos Alcaraz's warm-up routine he does with his physio?
No.
As a freak. It's like he's like Gumby. He's just like wank, like just moving him around like a pair of joysticks, the legs, and he's bouncing on his head. But not Djokovic. Here's my prediction, because the Aussies love a little bit of aggro.
Yeah.
Because they even like David Warner. But I think they're gonna turn around and get him behind him because he's such an asshole. Because he's such a fuck you. They're like, oh, I love this guy. He's fucking great.
Well, no, there's a lot of love for Djokovic. He's won more Aussie Opens than anyone.
Yeah.
Is it 7 or 8? I can't remember what it is, but he is. He's the greatest Australian Open champion of all time. The only person who can beat him is that guy Sinner, I reckon, and he's on the other side of the draw. So that's my prediction for the final. Pretty average, boring prediction. So you won't get much money for that.
So Kevin Sinnott versus Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, Kevin Sinnott, former TV3 reporter. Actually, Sinnott does have to play Alex de Minaur, the Aussie. So that could be quite tasty tonight. 9:30 start. It's horrendous because it says 9:30. They warm up for 15 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
If there's a game on before that goes long, I think the game last night started at 10:30 10:30 or maybe 11 New Zealand time.
Yeah. Jesus, that's a long night.
It was. I know. I got through two and a half sets and just went, damn it, I'm out. Sorry, lads. I'd love to watch that because you can tell the level is just so high. But anyway, that's just tennis, wanking on about tennis. There is something happening in the mixed doubles where Michael Venus and Aaron Routliffe, two Kiwis, and they're through to the semi-finals. Now, I don't think a Kiwi doubles pairing has ever won a Grand Slam title. So there's been doubles players who've won, but they've been paired up with someone from another country. So this is where, watch the space, could be making history. Even if they make the final, that's the best anyone's ever done as a Kiwi doubles pairing.
But Erin Routliffe, she's in the semis with a
Polish, maybe I can't remember, with Gabby
with the female
Dombrowski. Yeah. So that's her playing that today, I think. Is she playing that today?
Oh, that's something good. Something a little bit of Kiwi flavour.
Yeah, a bit of Kiwi flavour for you. So there you go. You're welcome.
Hey,
I know she's playing the women's doubles with the Canadian, and then mixed doubles. She is on today. She's on at 5:10 New Zealand time. Hopefully it'll be on Sky.
Yeah.
Because they showed most of the game, and I mean doubles should be taken more seriously or given a little bit more prestige. It's really considered, the second class citizens at any major. It's all about.
It's all played in the mornings.
Yeah.
Backcourts.
And man, like they need to put a bit of respect on that game.
One thing I'm going to touch on, James, around Shooter Stevenson. I saw him at the airport flying. I saw him landing at Narita Airport on the 27th of December. He was on the same flight as me.
There you go.
And it was funny because I was like, I talked about this with Manai Stewart a couple of weeks ago, that I saw him on the flight. And I was like, first of all I saw him, I was like, fuck, it's a big unit. I was like, oh, fuck, it's Shooter. It's Shooter. And he had his All Blacks carry-on suitcase with... he had tape. He taped over it. He taped over the All Blacks logo, and he taped over the Adidas and left SS. But he taped over it with medical tape, like the brown medical tape, as opposed to black. So black, it would have disappeared, but it was obvious. He was like, I'm no longer an All Black, and I'm no longer. And he taped over it, and he was just wheeling through, looking as confused as everyone else. As you have to do fingerprints and all sorts of shit in Japan. But then, he was over there. And then a few weeks ago, it was confirmed. And I was like, I thought it was confirmed pre-Christmas because I saw him on a fucking plane to Tokyo.
It's quite weird because, I guess I went a bit early with my tweet, which was accurate in the end, that he was leaving effective immediately, which I'd say 2 days after Christmas is pretty immediate.
Yeah.
But they were sort of like, they waited and waited for, I got into a bit of trouble with the Chiefs for that, actually. Okay, it's just a tweet, but I get a bit bored late at night, and so I just go.
Most people just watch porn.
I know, but instead I'm tweeting stuff about rugby. It's how sad my life is.
So have you had to what kind of punishment have you had to go down and like bake a cake or something, or take them some cookies?
It was one of those phone calls like when we're not angry, we're disappointed type phone calls. Okay. Yeah. But in the end, I sort of think, well, it doesn't actually hurt the game. It's like kind of like there's a bit of buzz around it. People picked up the tweet and there were stories about it, and for sport to get talked about isn't a bad thing like that.
And then he's back anyway.
He's coming back
to the Chiefs.
Yeah, they've done it so that he can come back and play Super.
Yeah.
But then watch the space. I'm guessing that if he has a really successful season and they like the cut of his jib, which they
will, they'll just re-sign him. Yeah,
and then he's on freaking $1 million or whatever you get. I can't remember what the pay is, but it's so high for someone who's no longer an All Black, because when you're an All Black, you're kind of like it's getting up there. But for someone like that, who if you lose your All Black status, you then the money in Japan, you're crazy to say no. But the issue is signing contracts that go longer. Like Hoskins Sotutu clearly wants to leave.
Yeah.
But his contract goes through for another year or so with New Zealand Rugby, and then if he plays for the All Blacks, he won't be able to play for England or Fiji or whoever.
Can't you just do what rugby league players do and say for personal reasons? That's how they break all their contracts.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Adam Fanua Blake, sick of living in Auckland. Personal reasons.
Oh, he was the worst one was Matt Lodge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He broke his contract and took the money as well. It's like, oh, fuck, that killed me.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, and he came out with, what was his excuse, that someone was mean to him at a function. The owner said something mean to me, and I'm like, you broke into someone's home and beat the shit out of them,
and he's also
in New York.
He's also crapped the bed with his current team as well. He's looking for a new team, Matt Lodge. So he's basically just hopping around, pissing people off, taking their money. Yeah, that hurt. As a Waz fan, I was like, that's 700, 800,000 just in the hole, and it's hard to recover. It's a miracle that we did as well that year. Yeah. Post, or was it 2 years after him? Righto, just if you want to get your hands on $5,000 cash, James McOnie, you want to do that? Thanks to Leader NZ, we've got a chance to scan and win $5,000 to top up your summer with the topper top up. You got to head in store, buy a tray of toppers, scan the QR code, and be in to win $5,000 cash. The best part of it is you can munch on some chicken cordon bleu toppers whilst you enter the details. If you want more details on that, text SCAN to 3236 for all the details, and you can win $5,000 to top up your summer. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Yours Please.
Yours Please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Right, 3 to get through today. James McOnie, first up, Yours Please.
So it's 8:55 Monday night. And mate, just first day official radio breakfast, and he's just ditched the agenda. Boys, I'll see how it is. No, all good, mate. We understand. Too cool for us. Just best you get back on the old potty, mate, otherwise you'll be back in Kalgoorlie fighting your fucking worker in the gold mine.
Yeah,
it's Manai's dad, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It sounds like him.
Yeah, it definitely is. What's Manai's Warren. Was a
big was. No, Manai's back on the potty tomorrow. So there you go. You can get your Manai fix.
There was an agenda pre-Manai as well.
Yeah.
Which won a lot of awards.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So there I'm just thinking
it's called PM.
We've all
pre-Manai.
Pre-Manai.
And then there's POM, post-Manai.
Yeah. So the agenda has been. I mean, I probably should be giving you and Matt Heath most of the plaudits for winning the awards, but I do believe I was contributing.
Yeah. You got the certificate.
I got the certificate for that because I listened to the entry and most of it was me. So I thought, yep, I will claim that certificate. Whatever episode I was on, it went off. So there you go.
Okay, so Manai, he's back tomorrow. So you can whack off at 8:20 at night. With
that. Manai is on Radio Hodaki replacing Matt Heath, and it's a real father and son vibe, isn't it? You know. Yeah. And with Jeremy Wells and Manaya, and I think they'll be outstanding.
I did enjoy the chat the other day around Jerry's shut up shop around the bedroom.
Yeah,
he's just shut up shop. He's not open for business. And Manaya's analogy was, well, I'm open for business, but he's just too much roadworks outside and too many barriers. But I'm open for business. I'm still open for business, but there's just it's like the city rail links happening outside.
Who's that? Well, Manaya, yeah.
He's ready to go. Just too much roadworks.
I did have a listen to Matt Heath on News Talk ZB once, and I can't remember what they were talking about, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I think they were talking about duvets. I was like, oh yeah, I might pass today.
Duvets.
Might have a duvet chat. I can't remember. He's going to kill me for saying this, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. Okay,
well, next up, Yours Please.
Hi. You falafels want to talk about inappropriate shirtlessness at the Chris Gale conference and presidential inauguration. What about Elon Musk and the old Hail Trump fucking chest salute? That's sus. That's fucking sort that shit out.
It is sus. He's actually right. Sus is the best way to put it. Though they didn't say that on the news last night.
It's a bit sus.
It's a bit sus because that's pretty much sums it up, because you're going, like, some people are saying, that's evil. And then some people are going, what the hell? But I'm thinking, that's sus. Because what are you doing? I think he's trying to not do... he's getting excited.
Yeah.
And he ended up... Because sometimes people do that. They tap their chest and they do the peace sign sort of thing. Yeah. Peace. And then instead...
Like peace out.
Yeah. And instead he doesn't do that, and I'm like, oh no, that is bad, real Nazi vibes. And
I do like that call. I call it the Chris Gale conference.
yeah.
It was a conference.
My issue with Americans and Nazism is that the do you see Inglourious Basterds? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good movie. Yeah, that was amazing.
Great movie.
Far out. That opening scene. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
You just don't see scenes like that. You know, the patience. It was a
tension.
15-minute
Yes.
scene. Oh my goodness. Whoa. I'm not doing any spoilers. Just watch Inglourious Basterds if you're old enough. My issue is that Americans call Adolf Hitler Adolf, like they're cheerleaders. Like, give me an A, you know, Adolf. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. He's the most evil man in fucking history. So why don't you just give him Adolf and just put him down? Don't make him up like Adolf. Yeah. Hey, Mickey Mouse Club. Adolf. He's in. So yeah, I'm like, no.
Give me an
A. Give me an A. Yeah, give me a D.
D.
No, we're not doing that, America. It's Adolf.
A.
Bring it down.
O-L-F.
Yeah. Don't do the whole word, G Lane. But yeah, it's cheerleader vibes, and they got to stop it.
Okay, one more on the yours, please. Last one, yours, please.
Bloody hell. Mania does one Monday morning of morning radio, and he's off the podcast. Can't turn up for Tuesday. Says you'll do, Mad Monday, the agenda, the conclave, whatever it's called. We'll see. Soon you'll be drinking coffees every day in Herne Bay with Wowsies. You'll be on 7 sharp. Anyways, love yous, fuck yous. Keep it up.
Love yous, fuck yous.
Lucky as fuck yous. Yeah, he's back tomorrow. He's only going to be on once or twice a week, because obviously getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning is quite taxing. For young Manisi. He's young Manukaz, he's not used to not waking up early. He's not a morning man.
No.
More a night dweller.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And Jeff will be like, just get out of bed.
Get
out of bed, go to work, 5 a.m. because I've got 3 more hours of sleep.
Yeah, and he'll be pestering around in the afternoon. He'll be a nightmare at home in the afternoon. A lot of PlayStation. A lot of just blue content.
So who was that? Did I recognise that voice? I don't know.
Love yous, fuck yous.
Love yous, fuck yous. I quite appreciate that.
I'm not sure. Here's a regular segment on the Yours Please. You can contribute. We're going to introduce another Yours Please, actually, for those of you out there who are into the sports book. Because we're looking to broaden our horizons on the tips, sporting tips and horse racing tips for the weekend. So during our sports book, if you've got a tip for the weekend, we just want the tip. We don't want no banter. It's called Just the Tip.
Yeah.
So press the microphone button and just give us the tip, and we'll play it out on the sports book. But tomorrow is on the podcast is a bit of a Karaka Millions special. Luke Keamies is going to be on the show, and potentially also Kyle Tarley from the TAB, because it's the Karaka Millions on Saturday. Massive event in Auckland and horse racing as well. So they're going to kind of break that down along with any other sporting news, which is pretty slow at the moment.
It is a bit slow. I did notice one item on the agenda that we skipped over was Costa Barbarouses scoring his 100th A-League goal.
Yeah.
And the thing about Costa Barbarouses is, first of all, great name.
Yep.
Barber Ruthless, am I right? More
Yeah.
like Barber Ruthless in front of goal. He is arguably New Zealand's greatest A-League footballer. And the thing about it is that, okay, the A-League isn't the Premier or whatever. So he's no Chris Wood, right? But the way he plays now is just with that freedom, like when he walks out at Cape Town, Sky Stadium, with his daughters, and he's just, he's back home in Welly, and just plays with such freedom and gay abandon that he can kind of do all the tricks that he probably wouldn't have done,
when you're younger, a bit more self-conscious and selection.
Like, I don't want to mess things up. Whereas now he does all these little cool little flicks and tricks, and he's just he's a weapon, and he's ours.
He's ours. 100 goals. And also Auckland FC, they're back at the top of the table after that 3-0 victory in the weekend.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Do we still dare to dream?
Well, I would love to see. I don't care which New Zealand team makes it to a grand final, but that would be
ideally
epic.
Both of them.
Shit, that would be huge, eh?
How good would that be? That would be great. Anyway, back tomorrow. Mania's on the potty tomorrow with a few special guests. James McOnie, thanks for coming in.
Cheers, no worries.
Great
Good
to see you,
G Lane.
Yeah.
I've missed you, eh?
Let's put some coins together and go buy that Te Awamutu Kuria.
Let's do it, mate. Yeah, we've got to give it the kuria like it's a let's change it to Māori. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Kuri.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on